Welcome to How We Heard It, the podcast about music, pop culture, movies, and more, with your hosts Wayne Bledsoe and Chuck Campbell.
My name's Wayne Bledsoe, and this is
Chuck Campbell.
I'm John Baker.
And today's subject is something that Chuck was a little hesitant about.
I was a lot hesitant about it. You both have mentioned it, and I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to talk about this, which is my first thought on every topic.
Everything.
But I mean, it was like, I was never the kid who, well, our topic is album covers.
Right.
And I was never the kid who would like sit down on the couch and read the albums and you know, and really didn't even notice some things about the art either.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, how am I going to be able to do this? I don't know who the photographers are. I don't know what the art is. And then as I was reviewing over the years, and they were sending advances, a lot of times they didn't even have album covers on.
Yeah,
That's true.
I would review stuff without album covers.
Well, the internet has almost effectively rendered the album cover,
Yeah.
moot.
Except, and John and I were talking about this before you came in, now, because artists have to have some product, they'll sell vinyl at their shows, so it's back to big art. And people will just buy it so they can have something that's a souvenir from the show, or, you know, just buy something by the artist.
Well, I mean, the vinyl section at Target, for example, is bigger than the CD section. So, you know,
CD, what's that?
I don't even see CD. I mean, I still order CDs because I like that format, but I don't see them anywhere anymore.
I mean, you know, an example is I picked up the Lady Gaga CD at Target.
Right.
And it had the special Target alternative image covers.
Uh-huh.
So if depending on where you buy it, I know Taylor Swift and the others do this too, you'll get different covers, which to me kind of diminishes the cover overall as an experience. Because if there are 5 different covers or 10
Don't you
different
want to go
covers,
to 5 different Target stores and get all of them?
No, I definitely don't. Maybe I'm just past that, you know.
Well, you know who first did that? Led Zeppelin
Okay.
did that on In Through the Outdoor, but what they did, which is even sneakier, is they put it in a wrapper, and you didn't know what cover you were getting.
Yeah.
So you could buy 3 and it would be the same one every time?
Could be.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What a letdown.
Yeah, I thought that was like, okay, if you're going to put out different covers, all right, but don't
Trick
make
us.
it. Yeah. But yeah, that was weird. And it's not weird that they do it because it gives them something else to sell.
Yeah.
But I do agree it kind of diminishes the importance of it.
And Led Zeppelin has been the most shameless of reselling all of their stuff because they've remastered all their albums like 6 or 7 times.
They have.
I mean, it's like, how many times can you buy Led Zeppelin for? Well,
Yeah.
apparently a lot.
Well, but I will say the last ones they've put out have got so much stuff in them, extra stuff in them, that sometimes, I mean, I like it. The alternative versions are really good.
Well, this Lady Gaga, it had a special exclusive song for Target buyers only. I have no idea which song it was, you know, and it's like, I see
it's
that
not the
too.
song Target is great.
Yeah, no. Shop at Target, shop at Target. It's a subliminal track.
Well, all right, let me go way back just for a minute to say
Two-armed Johnny and his 3-string
No.
2-string guitar and Blind Eye.
I was wondering because I mean I collect 78s too, and I have like all sorts of stuff. But the first album cover was not released until 1939. And, of course, then it was like a booklet of 78 records.
Because there weren't albums then, really.
Well, that was the thing, is they started putting together booklets. I mean, like with classical things, you'd have the book, and it'd just be a brown book, and all the others were just wrappers, just like with advertisements on the outside. But there was a guy named Alex Steinweiss at Columbia Records who got the idea to actually put a cover on one of those albums, and they found out that when they put covers on them, it sold more records.
Sure.
Well, I mean,
and
makes
then
sense.
Yeah, and then they started using like characters and pictures of the artists, and sales went up. And then like with jazz records, they started throwing on like modern art and like cartoons from like Jazz Times or I can't think of the other jazz publication. Downbeat. But so that's really what started album art. So we can go to more modern times now. But I just wanted to say that, Chuck. I wish you could see Chuck's look every time I do this.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, the difference in background, though, is fairly evident because, I mean, I grew up, I had an older brother and older sister, both listened to a lot of music. But I just distinctly remember and really miss, although I can still do it, taking the album out of the sleeve and putting it on the turntable and then sitting down and listening to it while looking at the album cover. And an album cover that has tons of stuff to look on. It's just, I mean, like, I'm thinking of Elton John, Captain Fantastic, and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. It's a double gatefold album that opens up, and it is, you can look at that for hours. There's a million little things in there.
But it had a huge booklet with it, too, when it first came out. They stopped doing it because it was so expensive, but it had a big booklet.
I know, and I knew that I was missing something, but I still didn't want to sit down and read. I would read lyrics. I would look lyrics up if it seemed interesting enough, but I just wasn't the one to sit there and read along and study the pictures.
Well, I was really disappointed when they stopped putting lyrics in albums.
Yeah.
Because I wanted, I got them wrong a lot of times.
Yeah.
But like John mentioned Elton John, pretty much all of his albums had the lyrics. You had a booklet with, I can't remember if Honky Chateau had a booklet or not, but I know Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player did. And then Goodbye Yellow Brick Road folded out and had all the lyrics and stuff in it. So, I mean, it was something extra that they gave you.
Right. I appreciate that. I'm saying it was my not exploring the full possibilities of my purchase.
Well,
I just think it used to be, and maybe it is still to some people, it is to me sometimes, that a perfectly satisfying evening's entertainment is putting on some music and listening to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to glue your eyeballs to the TV set.
Right.
It's still art that's coming in.
To be fair, now that they're not giving you those things anymore, I'm mad about it. It's like, well, why don't I have, who played the instruments on these songs?
Right.
And it's like, it's okay if I don't care, but I want that information. I want to be able to tap into it.
And I would like, just based on reading who played on something or who wrote a song, buy other albums, because it's like, this person is on all these albums I like, so if they're on another album, I might like that one too. And then, I mean, I can't tell you how many songs, when somebody covered a song and I saw that's who the song was by, how many times I went out and bought an album by that person because I loved that song so much. And it nearly always paid off.
I did the same with producers.
Yeah.
Mitch Easter, anything he produced, I knew he had great taste. I bought albums by bands I'd never heard of just because I saw his name as the producer on the back of the album.
I was the same with Hal Wilner.
Yeah.
You always gave it a chance. You might not love it, but you weren't going to hate it.
Yeah.
Well, with you two, was there any album in particular you can think of that you bought that the cover influenced you to buy it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can name bunches of them.
Well, I can name one right off, and I've mentioned it before, but it's the Divinyls Desperate Divinyls, and this is before they had any hits. I'd never heard of them. This is the picture. We can't show pictures here, but I like the font, and I like that the lead singer, Christina Amphlit's dressed kind of like a mean little schoolgirl, and then all the guys are, kind of around her. But something about just the picture and the font and the name made me think, I might like this. And I bought it I didn't know any guitar credits, producer credits. I didn't realize they were from Australia. I knew nothing about them, and I loved that album.
Yeah.
So
that's a home run.
Yeah.
How about you, John?
Well, I can think of a bunch, but the one that springs to mind is I remember in the late 80s, because I used to go to record stores and just flip through the stacks. I'd spend 2 hours in a record store. And in the late 90s, there was this scene that kind of grew in the West Coast, the Paisley Underground, and there were a bunch of sort of bands that were making sounds that sounded like old 60s psychedelic stuff. And I found an album by a group I'd never heard of called the Dukes of Stratosphere. And it just this wild, day-glow, psychedelic album cover. And I didn't recognize any of the names of the people playing on the record or anything, but I was like, this has got to be good. And it turns out, as you know, I guess you're guessing, it was an alter ego by one of my favorite bands, XTC, and Virgin Records just took a chance on like a six-song EP, and it blew up and became hugely popular. So Dukes of Stratosphere put out another full length, and all of it just sounds like old 60s psychedelic stuff.
Yeah.
But I bought that just because I like the cover.
All right.
I got to turn my ding off.
Yeah, Wayne.
Well, I bought, and I'd already read about him, but it was looking at that album cover that made me buy it. It was Elvis Costello's second album. And it was like, My Aim Was True was there, and it was kind of a funky looking cover.
And he's a funny looking dude.
But this year's model, he's like in front of a camera, and he kind of looks like a praying mantis over the camera. And it's like, this is just so weird looking. I want to hear what this sounds like.
Yeah.
And then I loved it.
Yeah.
But it's like, that was like this image that grabbed me.
Well, I'm going to indulge in a little bit of contemporary album cover observations, and that is, one, they're not putting nearly the effort into it that they used to. It's not as lucrative for them. They do have to have some like little thumbprint image if you're like going on Spotify or whatever. So there's still images attached, but you'll find a lot of CDs, you're not really even sure who it is, and there's just like blurry gray for a cover or something like that. And you won't often find much information in the CD.
Yeah, liner notes are a casualty.
Yeah, liner notes are also a casualty. But there are some artists who've done well and who've made a point here or there or done something. These aren't the highlights, but I'm just saying this to get like what's happening now out of the way, and I'll go back in time also. So.
Okay.
But I think Billie Eilish in 2019, she had an album called When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?
It's a good cover.
It's a great cover because she's on this giant bed, and it's dark in the background, and she's sitting on the edge of the bed, and she's shoeless, so her legs are sticking straight out and her toes are curled up, and she's got this insane look on her face and this insane smile, and her eyes are whited out. So it's almost like Reagan from The Exorcist, like she's about to jump off the bed or something. But, that was an effort. And, that was, I think, 2019, I think that was her first album. Ariana Grande, she had an album called Sweetener. The album cover, it was annoying as an Ariana Grande can be. The album cover is kind of a profile shot of her, very basic, with the ponytail and all that, her looking like Ariana. But they put it in upside down.
Yeah.
So no one knew how to handle that because there was text on it that was upside down if you right side upped it. You know? So in the stores, it'd be upside down or right side up. And the problem for me was I reviewed that, and I had to send art of the album covers out to everybody. And I had to say, she's supposed to be upside down, and people were
The
still...
artist intended
Yes,
this.
yeah, they insisted on putting her right side up. I don't know if there was any artistic reason for going upside down, but it was just a headache for people, at newspapers and record stores and all that. So, but that was something she did. The Weeknd, this is an interesting one. He put out After Hours in 2020, and he has this, he's got a great expression. He's got this just bloody face. And he looks like he's been on a savage eating spree because he's got all this blood on his mouth and this deranged look. That album came out March 20th, 2020. Wow, so it came out just like at the key.
Right at the pandemic.
Yeah, the timing, and it's called After Hours, but it's just like you've got this zombie-looking dude, right at the beginning of the pandemic. Drake had one that's interesting now to look back on. It came out in 2021. It's called Certified Lover Boy, and it's just emojis of all these different pregnant women, and like different races and different and given all that has been dissed about him and everything, is probably not the like Kendrick Lamar. I mean, so that's probably not fed into his whatever his reputation. Beyonce, Cowboy Carter. What I like about that one is I think she was punking her detractors, because she's got a lot of detractors, and sometimes, I mean, let's be clear, some of it's just pure racism. She's a billionaire black woman. Yeah. So people are just going to...
We can't have that.
Yeah, right. And she's sitting on a horse, and she's dressed in red, white, and blue, as a cowboy, and she's got an American flag there, and it's like, I like that's just trying to stir up people who just don't like her and will never like her and won't like anything about her.
Yeah, and the album was pretty good.
Yeah. And then my favorite, probably, who still puts out interesting ones, is Lana Del Rey, because she's a little more artistic than other people. And she had the album Norman Effing Rockwell.
Right, yeah.
And it was made like a Rockwell drawing, which is like World War II, idealistic kind of, or post-World War. Anyway.
Well, no, he starts from the 30s and goes up into the 70s.
Oh, okay. Well, before times.
Yeah, but he was like the illustrator for the Saturday Evening Post. He did all those covers. That was the thing with him.
And it's kind of like an idealized American in most respects. And she's like on this yacht with this young, good-looking actor guy, and she's like smashing his face in or something. And there's, they're on a yacht, and so they're obviously living this upper-class life. And I think I read somewhere that she kind of took a shine to that guy too. So that's how she shows her affection. But anyway, I mean, that's really, I don't have much more to say about anything from the last 10 years. Because
well, I will say real quick, one of the things that bands did was make special editions of things. I mean, when they would sell it on vinyl, or when they were, even when they were in the CD, when we were in the CD age, like Tool would do special. I mean, they put a lot of thought into their album covers. They had one that you fold it out, and it's basically you get like a pop-up with glasses. So you see this weird landscape. That's what
through the glasses?
Yeah, the album turns into this landscape thing. It's like
like one of those 3D images?
Like a stereogram. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
and it was really cool. But all of their albums, they've done something like that with it, so that when you buy it, even though you could get it digitally or whatever, you feel like you're getting something special. Mm-hmm. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
I wish more people would do it.
Well, it's like Wayne and I were talking before we got started recording that back in the 90s, I remember Neil Young saying that in the future, the music's not going to be worth anything. People are going to pay for the packaging. And I remember thinking, that's ridiculous. But, everybody wants a poster, or they want to pop up something, or, a thing you can hold in your hand. Because otherwise, if you're just streaming on Spotify, it's just vapor.
But, when I've talked to younger people who collect vinyl, that is one of the things they want, is they want something to hold in their hands. I mean, it's not just, they're playing these well-made vinyl albums on these crappy little, stereos that are ruining their albums when they play them half the time. Mm-hmm. But they want something. And, I really like that they want something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they got like $20 vinyl players at Urban Outfitters.
Yeah, and they're playing a $40 album on it and just ruining it every time they play it.
Yeah. Don't do that.
But I like the fact that, two things about it is they want something physical, and they want to not have the ability to just skip around. They want to listen to a whole thing and not be distracted.
Oh, man, that bothers me so much when I'm listening to someone and they'll say, oh, listen to this song, and they'll play like a verse and a chorus and then change to something else.
Yeah.
Maybe they're feeling anxious that you don't seem to be responding, so they cut out of it. It's like, oh, he's not enjoying this like I do. I'm going to tick out here.
It takes more than part of a song for me to assess whether I like something or not.
Yeah, and that drives me, my girlfriend does that every once in a while.
Seconds. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just every now and then she'll cut off the end of a song to go to the next one. It's like, that's the fade out.
I'm with her.
If you're going to change it between songs.
A lot of songs are about a minute or two too long. Just get out of there while you can.
Sometimes they are, but sometimes kind of the best stuff is during when they're trying to fade out or end, and it's like, this is what I really like in this song.
Yeah, it's true.
Prince's song, oh gosh, I can never take the place of your man. Mm-hmm. My favorite part is the guitar solo at the end of it. I know you'd hate that, Chuck.
There's a guitar solo at the end
There's a guitar solo that fades out, and it's like, oh man, I wish this didn't fade out. But
well, I can throw down now. I've got I think everything else I've got is from last century. So
okay,
90s.
Well, let me throw out just a couple that are real standouts from the 50s because they kind of changed things. Frank Sinatra's In the Wee Small Hours, which is a great album cover. It's just a painting of him on a street. You see the street lamp. But it's one of those things, if I looked at it, I'd think I want to hear this. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, he was a huge star then, but I think that helped probably sell it. And then the other one I think was really influential is the second Elvis Greatest Hits album, 50 Million Elvis Fans Can't Be Wrong, which is him in the gold lame suit with him, the big one in the middle, and then just bunches of them put all over the rest of the cover.
Was that more 70s Elvis or
No, this is 50s
50s
Elvis.
Elvis? Oh, skinny Elvis.
Yeah,
what-
skinny young Elvis.
The gold lame suit.
Okay,
Right.
all right. I
And-
thought he had a fat gold lame suit too.
He probably did. It was mainly karate chopping suits.
Okay.
In the fat.
All right.
fat
Oh yeah, those jumpsuits, those white awful jumpsuits.
They all had names too.
Did they?
Yeah, it was like the Thunderbird or the whatever was on it.
Wow.
All I know is he like split the butt of one of them in concert one time. I think it was here.
Yeah, my mom took my older brother and older sister to see Elvis at the Stokely Athletic Center, but I was determined I was too young.
You were determined you were too young.
No, she determined.
Oh, she determined.
I would have gone. I didn't know really who Elvis was, but
Right.
Well, I missed it because I thought I was too cool at that point and didn't like Elvis, and I wish I'd gone.
yeah.
Didn't you say your grandmother was going to buy Elvis, but she got Sonny and Cher? And
No, that was the Rolling Stones.
Rolling
That was
Stones,
Rolling
okay.
Stones in '72. She went to get tickets, but they were sold out.
Okay.
So we saw Sonny and Cher instead.
Okay.
But actually, Sonny and Cher was good, even though I sure hated I missed the Rolling Stones in
Yeah.
'72.
Did you
Man.
have you seen them?
Yeah, I've seen them twice. But I mean, I didn't see him in the golden age. I mean, that was when Mick Taylor was with the band, and that would have
I think the best era.
yeah, me too.
I mean, not to diss Ron Wood, but
But yeah, I saw him on the Voodoo Lounge tour and the Bridges to Babylon tour.
Okay.
I think I saw the Voodoo Lounge.
Yeah, and that was better than the Bridges to Babylon tour. But they were both good. I mean,
Yeah,
they
were
know how to do
and
it.
they were perceptibly old men by then.
Oh yeah,
And they were still. I mean, Mick Jagger was all over the stage, and
Yeah.
it was a great show.
I remember our former editor when I came to Knoxville and the Stones were coming here or Atlanta or something.
Uh-huh.
We were doing a story for that special section we had, and he went. He wanted to put "Rock of Ageless" as the headline on the cover with a picture of them. I said, geez, are you trying to reach, college students? I mean, these guys aren't ageless. And that was forever ago. And it's like, here they still are. So
yeah, it's amazing.
maybe he was right.
Well, what's happened, it's interesting to me, is like generations keep rediscovering people. I
Yeah.
mean, with all my kids, it seemed like there was a certain age where they would discover the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix. I think it's probably different people now, but for a while it just seemed like every few years it would be that's what kids were discovering this thing.
And you came across that a lot too when you were like interviewing younger bands, and for a while there they were all influenced by like Paul Simon.
Yeah.
Or just there would be some other artist from 30 or 40 years before them.
Yeah.
They were kind of ingrained. I know that a few of them were even influenced by ABBA. You told me.
And it was funny because it would be Paul Simon's one that really struck me because it was like Graceland and the Rhythm of the Saints albums.
Right.
People like these kids just really picked up on it who became musicians, and then the Kinks had their day where people were like,
You must
young
have
kids.
loved that.
Oh man, I was all over it. I loved it so much. I'd love that artist so much more when they said the Kinks.
Yeah.
And then it was Huey Lewis and the News.
Oh my God.
I can't tell you how many people that was their first thing, and of course Michael Jackson, which you expect.
Yeah.
Some kids were still influenced by Elvis.
It always gives me heart when I hear a young person that likes the Beatles.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if you don't like the Beatles, that's like not liking the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, it's just essential stuff.
That's just pure, orneryism. I think people who don't like the Beatles have just convinced themselves that they don't like the Beatles and they think it makes them look cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't at all.
No. But but then in ABBA, but it was different people all the time.
Yeah.
Well, and I think different styles of music coming in and out of. I mean, well-written pop songs. Well, then the Beatles are going to be.
Yeah.
Same with Paul Simon. Hell of a songwriter.
Yeah, but it was interesting because he would come up. I mean,
Yeah.
he would come up again. It would be another wave.
I know. There was just constantly Paul Simon.
Yeah.
I even came across that, and it's like, really, Paul Simon?
Yeah.
It's okay. But,
Well-
I mean, great for him. I mean, he great songwriter, so.
One of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And and that's the thing that's interesting to me. And his story, just the fact that he was a craftsman before he was an artist, because he worked for years writing bad songs. before he became Paul Simon. And then one day it hit. He had like a song that was better than the other ones and different, and then all after that, it was like he was writing standards.
But what were his album covers like?
Well,
bringing it back to
album covers. Bookends by Simon and Garfunkel is one of the great album covers. It's just a black and white photo of the two of them, kind of leaning it against each other.
Okay.
And I never thought the Bridge Over Troubled Water album cover was.
The Sounds of Silence, them walking down a road away from you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't think that one was all that odd either.
I like an album cover that's just a nice, well-taken, natural photograph.
Well,
that just reminds me of just something out of the blue, but Blur, Park Life.
Yeah, with the dog.
Yes. Just like something so crazy about that photo. But
they've got the muzzle over their mouth, their tongues hanging out.
There's a brown dog and a black dog.
And they're racing.
Dirt is flying up behind them, and they both have these just intent expressions on their face, and they're like rounding a curve or something at a race. And that name of the album is Park Life. It's from the 90s. Yep. But that photo, I don't know what it was.
Iconic.
Just so sharp, and just like every eyelash or whatever, those dogs are just so expressive.
So while you're listening to the music, you can look at the dogs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
And they say,
okay.
And
I would look at dogs.
But you'd think, why did they pick this? How does this relate to this music?
To Park Life, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes
maybe
art doesn't
the dog
react.
park.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe they were dogs. I mean, that was, I think, the one with the girls and boys on it, which is basically just about everybody being promiscuous and slutty and just. So maybe it was like they were identifying with dogs.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But I do think, sometimes it's like Wilco's Yankee Hotel Foxtrot is like the most like.
Bare bones.
Yeah, it's just a picture of I can't remember what the name of that building is in Chicago, but it's an iconic building, and it's taken from this angle, and it makes you, because of the angle, it's a little uncomfortable.
Right.
You get the height of it.
Right.
But for some reason, that's a perfect picture for that album, because that album is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
And it makes you, it's all kind of a mystery. They use words that, words that sound good that don't mean much, but maybe they do.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Tweedy's kind of famous for, I think he calls them word ladders, like where he just writes out words that pertain to the subject, just like one word, and then puts them in columns and draws lines between them and says, put these two words together, put these two together.
Oh, I didn't notice how he did it.
It's like...
Okay, too much work.
Sorry. Or Tom
I don't need
York,
homework with my albums.
Tom York from Radiohead, famous for just cutting bits of lyrics out of magazines and sticking them all together, and they don't make any sense. They don't meant to go together, but then the way he sings it, and maybe the way you perceive it.
Well, that's the William S. Burroughs cut-up thing, and a lot of people have done that. David Bowie's done that before. Yeah. But a lot of people were influenced by it.
Bowie's had a lot of good album covers.
I think Bowie's probably got more good album covers than most people. Right. Even the Lodger, where it's like this kind of shot from above, and he's like, his limbs are kind of twisted up. You don't know what's happened to him, if he's fallen or whatever. But it kind of encapsulates what that album feels like.
Yeah, I agree.
And Low, of course, was it's funny because the movie he did, The Man Who Fell to Earth, I think he used shots from that for two different album covers. I think the Low album cover is from that, and definitely Station to Station.
Did you ever see the later Bowie album, The Next Day? Mm-hmm. Which is he just recycled an album cover. It's Heroes, which he's got this great hairdo, and he's like, it's this shot by a professional photographer. It's black and white, just crisp and clear. And that was Heroes, which was in the 70s.
70s.
70s. And so then this is his album called The Next Day that came out in like 2010 or something like that. And he just like, I'm just going to reuse that album cover, and he just put a big white block over the middle of the picture and wrote David Bowie The Next Day. The back cover is the exact same, but it's got a white block, and he put text in there. It's like it's the exact same cover, but he just recycled it.
There's a great Monty Python album where they take, a very generic classical music cover, and they mark out what the title was on it and put Monty Python and whatever the title was. And it was it's great because it just looks like somebody's taken a Sharpie and just marked out and put them on there. Thought it was a good joke.
I got kind of a stream of consciousness, kind of controversial covers that maybe got banned, or they all have little stories about them. And you'll know some of these, but you won't know Lords of Acid.
Oh, I didn't know they had a band.
Oh, they've had several. Well, they had an album called Voodoo You in '94, and there was a hot rod artist called Coop. Does that sound familiar?
Coop. Yeah, yeah, huh?
Well, he did all this art of these just red women demons and all kinds of nude images of them and all this stuff that they played throughout that album. But then there's a better Lords of Acid that came out 3 years later, and it's called Our Little Secret. Now, you might remember this because I showed you, but it's a picture. It looks like Lady Galore, but I don't think she was in the band at that point. But it's just this blonde woman from the waist up, and she's like putting her finger to her lips, and you pull it out and you unfold it, and she's got a giant male prosthetic in her pants. And given the time and everything, I don't believe it was a transsexual, but it may have been. But I think it was probably just a woman, with something like that to throw people off, which was, and that just like confounded our friend Mike so much. Because he was all into it. It's like, oh, it's a fold out, and now what are you going to do with this, Mike? But that made me think of, let me put it this way, that had way, that guy or that prosthetic or whatever had way more than the Rolling Stones Sticky Fingers guy. Do we know who was the Sticky Fingers?
It's Andy Warhol.
Well, Andy Warhol designed it.
But do we know who the model was?
The model is reported to be Joe D'Alessandro, who was one of his actors, and he was in his Dracula movie, and he was in a lot of things for a while.
Okay.
But yeah, that is the best thing I've ever read about it. Said that it was Joe D'Alessandro, but it's still up in the air. I mean, nobody's ever actually confirmed for sure.
Okay.
But I bought that when I was 12.
So you had no idea what was even like...
well, it was like...
I don't know if I should buy this.
Well, it was the Rolling Stones. I was going to buy it because I was 12 and I loved them. But it was like, oh, man, does this zipper work? And the zipper works.
And I didn't know it had a zipper on it.
Yeah, when it first came out.
Later editions didn't have it.
No, because it was expensive to do it. It was an actual zipper.
Yeah.
And you could unzip it, and then it had a die-cut little belt at the top. So you could open it like pants, but it could also fold out. And, of course, it was just, a torso with underwear.
Okay.
But
I was getting anxious again.
But what was so funny when I was a kid is there's a little thing up in the corner of the original that says, "This photo may not, etc."
Oh, I like that. Well, that kind of reminds me of an album cover of mine. The first time I listened to an album and looked at the cover and thought, I don't know, this is kind of dirty, was Queen, Sheer Heart Attack. And the cover is they're all laying down, and it's shot from the top looking down on them. And Freddie, they're all, kind of, their shirts are unbuttoned and their chest hairs hanging out. And Freddie Mercury's down on the bottom of there, and he's a very hairy man. Yeah. And his chest hair's coming out, and then you look down, and if you look close, his pants are open. And the zipper's part way down, and there's hair going all the way down in there. And I remember thinking, is that right? Did they mean to do that? I mean, I was 12 years old.
Yeah. He'd be manscaping that today, I bet.
Yeah.
Well, do you all know the story behind the Loverboy album, Get Lucky?
No.
The cross fingers behind the...
Another crotch shot.
Behind the
red leather pants.
Butt shot. It's a butt shot. It's red leather pants.
Okay.
And there were two guys in the band that people were debating which one it was. And I knew some women that bought that, and the guy who bought that, they go, it's got to be so-and-so's butt. So the actual truth is, it's the photographer's 13-year-old daughter.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know. And it's like, oh, my God, because just think whatever fantasies people were having about whichever guy in the band it was a 13-year-old girl in those leather pants.
Which kind of reminds me of Bow Wow Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Who was 13, I think, wasn't she?
Model,
I don't think she was 13. She was underage.
She was
way
young.
Underage.
Like she didn't have any clothes on.
Yeah, and she's with the band. But, I mean, it didn't show anything.
No, everything's hidden, but...
And it reproduced, I can't remember what that painting is, but it reproduced a famous painting.
Okay.
And that was what was so, I mean, I remember looking at it, and it was cool. I mean, she didn't show anything, but she is naked with all those guys.
Right. Right.
And she's like 14.
I think the guys were mostly gay, so I don't know. If
Oh,
there's a
okay.
problem.
There you go.
I don't know if there was an issue there. Maybe it was. I don't know. But then that made me think, is that Bruce Springsteen's butt on the back of Born in the USA?
I don't know.
And so I looked that up, and it is indeed Bruce Springsteen's butt. But what I discovered about that is, the red bandana in his back pocket?
Yeah.
It's actually a red cap. It's a baseball cap. And when I was reading about it, it was like, that's got to be a bandana. Everyone just immediately assumed bandana. And then I looked at it today. It's like, that's a freaking baseball cap from this iconic album.
Yeah.
And there's nothing erotic about, just a saggy blue jean butt, really.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's somebody's into everything. But anyway, I can't believe that I and so many other people, because that's what they were saying, like on Reddit and stuff. It's like, wow, all these years in my mind, I just saw a red bandana, but it's a crunched up, and it's pre-MAGA days. It's not a MAGA cap, but it's just a crunched up cap in his back pocket.
Guess I've never paid any attention. I never bought that album because it was another one of those albums you never had to buy because it was always
all over the
Always
place.
being played.
But that's interesting. The only other crotch album I can think of is Motley Crue, which I thought, good God Almighty, when that one came out.
Yeah.
Their first album was a crotch shot. I mean, it was a leather pant.
I got a
crotch
couple
shot.
more.
Okay.
The Black Crowes, Amorica.
Oh. And that had a special edition for Walmart.
Really?
Yes, it did.
Oh, how did they do it?
Well, they put like a white thing over it so that it covered more, and it wasn't just a crotch. I mean, it was crotch, but it was covered up. Well, you used to have to do special ones for Walmart.
Okay. Well, I know Sheryl Crow was just bumped out of Walmart for singing about a shooter buying his bullets
gun at Walmart.
Oh,
yeah, and they just took her off their shelves.
Yeah.
The other one, I want to say it's Warrant, but the name of the
Cherry pie.
cherry pie.
Cherry
It's like
pie.
a slice of pie
Cherry
that
pie,
falls,
yes.
and it's strategically right there.
I remember that song, and it was just like those loud, dumb anthems.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember for about 5 minutes I was into that song, and it's like, oh my God, I can't. I got to have some self-respect here. I can't do that.
Well, before we leave the Black Crowes one, I mean, what that was a picture from, I think it was Penthouse. They had they used that as a cover, and it had pubic hair sticking out from it, and that was the thing. It was like,
Oh yeah,
such a big deal.
yeah.
No.
Well, kind of keeping on the erotic theme, I remember distinctly when my mom brought home Carly Simon, No Secrets, and the main secret that there was not was that she was not wearing a bra.
Oh.
I mean, as a kid, I was like, "Whoa!"
Who and what?
Carly Simon.
Carly Simon. Okay.
The song, the album, No Secrets, and she's.
Right.
I mean, she's very attractive. She was
Yeah.
like 23 and walking home from the studio because I read a whole history about that album cover. But that she was making a feminist statement that it's my body.
Patti Smith made it, but it was anyone's surprise.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Linda Ronstadt did the same thing.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I was trying to remember Linda Ronstadt on the roller skates, and then there's one, I don't remember what it was, where I guess that was back in the USA or something like that.
I think that's the roller skate one.
And then there's another one where she's like sitting in front of a mirror.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Here's that Bruce.
It is a cap. I never paid any attention to it. Huh.
It's a cap.
Well,
Well, I was going to dispel another myth, and that's
Okay.
the whole album Live Through This. That's not her. That's not Courtney
I
Love
thought it
in that
was. I thought
picture.
she said
I
it
know.
was.
Everyone thinks that that's her. It was just some model, and she never got recognized for it because they had all the wild makeup on her, and she had that big crying, laughing face
Yeah.
and everything. But
The
that
smeared
was,
makeup.
Yeah.
the smeared makeup. It's a great cover.
It
I mean,
is.
It's
Yeah,
like a homecoming queen who's thrilled and sad, or just feeling all these emotions, and then you contrast that with all these songs about, just Courtney Love songs.
Well, and
that's great.
And I got to give credit where it's due. I had never really listened to Hole with any kind of a serious
Oh.
ear. I was just
Oh.
like, it's just a
Oh, my
drug
God,
addled.
yeah.
And you recommended,
Yeah.
I think it was Live Through
Live
This.
Through This,
And
yeah.
I remember thinking, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really
Yeah.
good album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
It's
care
one of the
how
best.
heavy a hand, Cobain had in it. And then her next album was pretty good too, and that she worked that with Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
So-
Celebrity Skin.
But she had to have some input into it because it was two different producers.
Oh, I think she had a lot. I mean, I think Live Through This is, I like it as well as probably anything from that era.
Yeah. Including Nirvana's Nevermind with the naked baby in the pool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that guy
Which is
just
another-
and that
the
guy's
guy's
just
still
suing Nirvana,
suing?
trying to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so silly.
Yeah.
And there were also, I mean, the little baby penis. A lot of people put like a cover over something over
Stickers
that.
over it, yeah.
It's like, come on.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy.
But I mean, I kind of feel it. It's like you may have been a baby at the time, but you had no say in the matter, and then here you are, your little pee-pee out there for the whole world to see. You know,
well, as long as it's not the same size, I don't think we should worry about it. I mean,
right.
come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Hopefully it's grown
We
some
don't know
since
that
then.
it's not. So, but yeah.
Well,
No, go ahead.
before we leave, Roxy Music had, I think it was Country Life.
Yeah.
That one got censored a lot because
Ohio Players albums.
oh yeah,
yeah.
boy, those were the
Taste
ones.
of Honey. Yeah.
Yeah. The Ohio Players, that's the ones when I was a kid, in
Yeah.
middle school and a freshman. It's like, ooh, yeah, like I can look at this album for a while.
So much to see here.
Well, the Honey album where the girl is like, and of course I don't know why the Ohio Players had so many rumors about their,
Yeah.
because
Well, that was it. The scream in Love Roller
Roller
Coaster
coaster.
was her being doused with hot honey. It's like,
Oh, I thought it
you
was
think-
somebody being stabbed
well,
to death.
Yeah,
that
well, I
too.
heard that one
was
too.
another one, but it was like something terrible happened to this woman, and it was either scalding honey or stabbing or something.
what I heard was that like she got stuck with the honey and it pulled off her skin when
Oh, wow.
when she got pulled out of it. It's like it's so stupid.
Well, now that we're into nude women and condiments, how about the classic Herb Alpert whipped cream and
Whipped
other
cream,
delights?
yeah, and there's just so many parodies of that.
Well, Colonel Bacchus is getting ready to put one out with that.
That cover,
Well,
I mean that,
a version.
yeah.
Well, and that's another thing that I thought we should talk about is albums and album covers that were then imitated.
Yeah,
Because like Sgt. Pepper, amazing album cover.
Right.
And this was in a time before any kind of NIL name, image and likeness
Right,
kind of
right.
law was available. So they just said, well, we want Muhammad Ali, we want the Stones, we want,
Right.
they just named all kinds of people and they just put them on the cover.
Well, and that style of cover too became kind of a prototype for everyone from what it was. What was it? Santana's Abraxas, and that all kinds of nudity and vague nudity and mythical creatures. And,
well, that was a great. I don't know who did that painting, but it was a great painting. But I remember when as a kid, they would put the price tag over the crotch of the center woman,
okay.
the woman who's in the middle.
Well, the center woman, I think that's the one that there's one that definitely has breasts, but has kind of a man's body too. Or
I don't think so.
there's a lot of images.
But there's
in
different. I mean, there's different things in there. The
Yeah.
kind of red naked image is like I've never quite figured out what that. If that
Right.
was a
Well, I wondered if they were like mythological creatures or what.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone like from the Tom Tom Club had their self-titled album, and they had all the Sgt. Pepper kind of imagery, and even Prince Around the World in a Day.
yeah.
I mean, it's like people just kept
Frank
referring to
Zappa,
that.
Frank Zappa, we're only in it for the money. I mean, it was a direct.
Yeah.
And the Rolling Stones, Satanic Majesties, it's kind of similar.
Well, I mean, that whole
That was more
album.
stylistically.
That's the thing is like the Rolling Stones after the Beatles released Sgt. Pepper, the Rolling Stones had to do something, some big deal. So they released Satanic Majesty's Request, which is their psychedelic album, but it has a lenticular cover,
Oh, yeah.
which is plastic.
It's got like plastic prisms, and you look at it one angle, you see one thing,
okay.
and the other
You see a move.
Okay.
If you move it back and forth,
okay,
they
yeah,
move.
Yeah. What were those? There were those little things. Were those cards or whatever?
Yeah,
that we
little
call
cards
as
that-
kids is-
I can't remember what they called them, but they would have little images,
I
and you could
remember that.
move them back and forth, and they'd move back and forth.
And cereal boxes would have records on them.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh, they were terrible, but it was still fun. But I mean, Sgt. Pepper, I think, is an album cover. I mean, it upped the ante on everything.
The whole album did.
Yeah.
I mean, musically, too. I mean, nobody had conceived of an album as a complete work of art
Yeah.
unto itself.
Yeah.
Well, I
But-
think also Beatles, Abbey Road. That was the
Sure.
people still are going down that crossing
Yeah.
that intersection and trying to pose their own Abbey Road.
Booker T and the MGs have an album, Macklemore Avenue, where they cover several Beatles songs.
Okay.
And
And
it's,
they walk.
it's a crosswalk in Memphis on Macklemore Avenue where they're walking across
Yeah.
it just like
That's
the
cool.
Beatles.
Well, the Beatles, that's the thing, is the Beatles album covers were all pretty iconic. I mean, Meet the Beatles, which all sorts of people have done takeoffs on. My favorite is The Residents. They were the first to do it.
Yeah, the fish heads.
Everything. They're just like these monstrous
Lit
things.
from the side.
And they've like scratched into them and everything. It looks crazy. But they're great. I mean,
one of my earliest albums, Beatles albums covers, and this is not even one of their iconic. I guess it is kind of, though. You know, they put out the two, like, 65 to 67, 66, and then 67 to 70, the blue album and the red album. They were greatest hits collections. But the red one had a picture of them looking down from a balcony in a hotel as their young, bowl-cutted self. And then the blue album, they posed in that same spot again, but they all had beards and long hair and everything, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a cool shot. Well, and, you know, the Revolver album. I mean, that was, for years, that was my favorite album cover. Because you could just look at it, and there's all sorts of stuff to see. And, you know, you got
Unlike the White Album.
which is another, you know, kind of revolutionary concept.
Yeah.
I mean, when I bought the White Album, it's like, oh, this is boring. Yeah. But, I mean, it's my favorite album.
The music is amazing.
Yeah, but the cover is just white, except when you open it up, you have the little pictures of them, black and white pictures of them, with the songs. But then you got a poster, which had, like, on the back side it had lyrics, and on the front it was all like a collage.
It was a collage.
Yeah. And I had that on my wall for years.
Did you get the original Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction?
No.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
They were pitching some story on them and all that stuff. And this was before it got banned, but you know, it had a very graphic depiction, animated or cartoon depiction of a woman being raped or having been raped, and
by a monster.
Breasts are exposed. Yeah, her breasts are exposed, and her panties are around her ankle, and she's in this skirt. And they pulled it, but not before they sent me the original copy.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm sure that's valuable now.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, that's Robert Williams. The artist who did that's Robert Williams, who was an underground artist.
Okay.
And he has, I mean, and you talked about Coop.
Yeah.
That's one of his big influences, and he does things that are kind of like that. He'll actually pull some of Coop's art every now and then. It looks like into his own.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that was a big deal when that happened.
I remember. Yeah, and they came out with something just like Skull and Crossbones or something completely different. But I think we've come across, like, there were two Madonna things I got, and these are about the covers, but not her images and everything. And I don't know if other people did this. Maybe you would know or remember, but. Like a Prayer was scented. It had a patchouli scent, like the first few printings of that. And then I believe it was Material Girl or Like a Virgin. The EP of that was scented with a baby powder. And I smelled it, and it's like, and I asked people in the office, do you smell this? They're like, yeah, what did you do to us? I didn't do it. So I finally called the publicist. She goes, oh, yeah, we printed like 500 of those. I don't know if it still smells like baby powder. Probably not. It's been a long time since Madonna was even like a virgin.
I can't think of any other albums that came out that with a scent, but I mean, there were lots of albums that had, little gimmicky things. I mean, Alice Cooper was one of the best at doing it. School's Out folded out into a desk.
Oh yeah, with carvings and stuff in it.
Yeah, it had, but you could prop it up. And then you opened the lid, and the album had a plastic inner sleeve with paper panties. Right. I mean, with elastic. I mean, somebody could have actually worn them. But yeah, that caused a huge controversy, and they pulled it back, saying that it was a fire hazard. I guess you're gonna catch your panties on fire if you wore them.
Well, maybe if you're hot enough before you put them on.
But yeah, so they had that, and then $1 Billion Babies came out, and it looked like a snakeskin wallet. Yep. And it had, pictures inside like you would have on the inside.
A texture that you can feel the scales.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I got a marbleized Kate Bush album. Speaking of Kate Bush, sometimes there'll be a clue on an album cover for something that's in the content. And even I didn't recognize this from Kate Bush, but she had an album called The Dreaming. It's one of her most popular ones. And she's You know, she's facing the camera and her mouth is open and she's holding this guy by the back of the head and her mouth is open and there's something in her mouth and it looks like a little key. And it took me years to figure out. There's a song on there called Houdini, and it's about the wife or the girlfriend of Houdini who's at a seance and they're calling him back. And she has this passage about, with a kiss, I'd pass the key and feel your tongue teasing and receiving. And he ends up drowning. And I was like, oh my God, that's what this stupid cover is all about. She's passing the key to Houdini and it's not going to save him this time. So anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You gotta like an artist that puts that much extra content in there for you to discover.
Yeah. And that's so Kate Bush, you know. I mean, she just like agonize over everything. But there are other iconic albums. I think like the beginning of MTV, the Cyndi Lauper, She's So Unusual.
Yeah, people love that one.
That was like, so she's doing her little twist move with the tutu on, and she's got that matted flyaway mess of a hair thing, and she's like on a city street, and it was like 83, and that was when MTV was taking root, and she was kind of the mascot, and it sort of, you know, established kind of a visual for it. And Duran Duran, Rio, I don't know if you remember, but it had that, what all the salons had, all these women with boxy shoulders and these, you know, and that she was the main image for the Duran Duran, you know, for that album. So anyway, just I don't know if you can think of any that kind of represented their time too, and
not better than that one. I mean, that was to me that really. I mean, that said the '80s like nothing else.
Well, going on for that, there's several animated ones that I've liked too. Blink 182, Enema of the State. You would know that nurse who's about to apply.
Oh, there's a worse one than that. Gosh, I can't think of the name of the band now, but the album title is Origin of the Feces. And it is literally, you mean, when you look at it, you think, what is that? Yes, it's a butthole. It is a butthole.
Oh, no.
God, what is that band? I thought it's a hard metal
Butthole
band.
Surfers?
No, it's not Butthole Surfers. But no, their name will come to me in a minute. But it was like, please, no. But that's what it is.
I also really like the Devo cover for Are We Not Men, you know. And what I like about that, you know, is it's the guy.
Rivera.
Is it?
The golfer.
Okay.
And later, many years later, he didn't even know they used his image.
Wow. Okay.
And years later, he was just this really avuncular, friendly, nice guy, and he found out he didn't know anything about their music. He was a big band jazz guy,
right?
But he just said, "Well, okay, you know, whatever."
What struck me about that is he looks like the guy, the human guy on the Lana Del Rey, Norman effing Rockwell. That she's like, so it's just sort of a weird parallel there because, you know, just like this real preppy, aristocratic, kind of good-looking guy, you know. So
there's a great album cover by the band Spiritualized. And the album is "Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating in Space." And the whole album looks like the packet of a medicine. I mean, it's like the design is very graphic, and it looks like and it even says, you know, how many milligrams of this are in this drug. And
I love it when they do that stuff.
Well, they also had the album, or it may have just been a song, but it was taking drugs to make music to take drugs to. So I think their mission statement's pretty clear.
Well, Bob Marley and the Wailers' album "Catch a Fire," the original version of that is a lighter, and it opens from the top like a lighter.
Okay.
Which is really cool. And
Babylon by Bus is a pretty cool album cover too. The live one. It's shaped like a bus.
Yeah, you pull it out. Their faces.
Their heads are in the bus.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. I'd forgotten all about that one. Well, but there were also like the prog band Gentle Giant. I know. Chester knows Gentle Giant.
Okay.
But they had an album called Octopus, and it's cut out. The album is cut out, so it's not square. It's shaped like a jar with an octopus in it.
Jammed into it.
Yeah, it's a great cover. They used to do a lot of those. They'd cut them out into different shapes.
Public Image Limited, their second record, that's just like generic. It's like album.
Yeah. No, when it first came out.
Oh, you're talking of Machine Metal Music or
the can.
No, it was in a can.
It was in a can.
The one I'm thinking of is I'll have to find it, but it's like generic. I mean, the cover just says album. The cassette said cassette.
I'm not sure that's not how they didn't. They
May have repackaged.
I think they repackaged his can because it was in a can and it was like 2 or 3 vinyl albums, but it was like in a film canister.
Huh. Has there ever been an album that you love the cover but hate the artist? I've got one of those.
Oh, I'm sure there are. I haven't. That's not something I thought about.
For me, it's Van Halen, 1984. Mm-hmm. It's like I didn't want to hear them. I didn't want to hear the songs, but that cover. It's this friggin' cute, like, Cupid with, like, a pompadour, and he's smoking. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, I love this image. And then it was like, and I began to associate that image because it was always, like, about all their big hits and everything like that. But you didn't have anyone like that. But
well, I wasn't a big fan of Grace Jones's music for the most part. I liked some of it.
She had great album covers,
Her
though.
album covers were incredible.
Her music could be just, like, real... As cool as she was, it was just too cool because the songs were really slow and not changing. But
Nightclubbing's my favorite.
Yeah,
cover.
that's my favorite. And then she had, what was the other one she had?
Island
Life.
Yeah,
yeah.
And she's naked on mostly naked on the front of it.
Yeah,
doesn't show anything.
Right.
Other than the profile of her butt.
She's like got her arm
yeah.
up. And,
and that's a great cover.
There's also I've noticed that when I looked up great covers, I noticed a lot of people were attributing great covers to albums that were just good albums, but maybe not the best. Like everyone seems to think Fleetwood Mac Rumors is a great cover. And it's like, it's a great album. It's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
But really, it was just...
I don't think they ever had any great covers.
No, it's like...
They were all right.
Yeah.
They weren't unattractive.
Some of the real early Peter Green Fleetwood Mac covers were kind of good. There was one, it had this like cartoon drawing of some kind of creature with a nose, and he's like...
no, that's
House?
not Kiln House. That's... It'll come to me in a minute.
Which also reminds me of...
Bare Trees is a nice cover.
Yeah.
I've got a Debbie Harry. I've got to throw something about her in there, and that's I think perhaps one of the most beautiful women in rock history, if not the best. But she did something for her solo album, Cuckoo. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah,
and it was just the big needles, like there were like 4 huge needles, like through her head.
That was,
and I thought that's really crafty. And it was some artist.
H.R. Geiger did that cover.
Yeah. And then went to some island somewhere where he did it. And...
He did. It's the same guy who designed Alien.
Okay.
Initially.
Okay.
And he had he also designed Brain Salad Surgery by Emerson, Lake and Palmer, which was one of those things where, you opened it at different layers. It had different things in. And he's also the reason that the Dead Kennedys wound up in a pornography lawsuit because they had an insert in the album Frankenchrist, which was a repeated coital image that Geiger had created. It's just like body parts.
Well, I mean, Alien, that...
everything's very sexual.
Yeah,
all this
whenever
stuff
they're going into the cave where the eggs are and everything, it's good grief,
Oh, his
pretty straightforward.
Sexual imagery was
in
just
a twisted way.
Yeah.
Twistedly straightforward.
Yeah, well, interesting thing is Emerson, Lake and Palmer were really pushed his career along after Brain Salad Surgery, but they were also in works to do a version of Dune with Jodorowsky. I can't remember his first name, but the guy who did El Topo, underground filmmaker, and God knows what that would have turned out like with all those people involved.
But I was thinking of somehow Brain Salad Surgery reminded me of this other album cover. It's an ELO album cover for the album Face the Music, and the cover is an electric chair,
right,
with straps and everything hanging on it, with a pair of headphones right in the middle of the scene. Yeah, it's like you got to get strapped in and listen to this record.
Yeah, well, it kind of looks like because we were talking about Warhol with Sticky Fingers. It kind of looks like one of his paintings. He did the prints. I can't remember the process, screen printing, and he had the electric chair series. So I kind of think that they were inspired by that.
Oh, maybe.
But he also did the Velvet Underground's first album, the Velvet Underground and Nico, which is the banana. Yeah. And if the original copies, you could peel the banana and there was a flesh-colored interior of a banana.
Okay. Flesh colored?
Flesh-colored, kind of pinkish.
Gotta take that one back.
Kind of pinkish, but yeah, it was more. I guess it was more pink than flesh-colored, but that was the intention.
Pink flesh. Okay.
But I saw a thing that picked that as the greatest album cover of all time, which I don't think it was, but it was really cool.
I remember being on vacation. This was 20 years ago, easily. Me and my wife and another couple in San Francisco. And we went to the Museum of Modern Art, and we came around and saw a painting of a candle. And I remember thinking, I've seen that. And my friend Jim Rivers, who was with me, he goes, "That's the cover of Sonic Youth." Oh crap! What's the name of the album? I got it.
Sonic Youth always had
Daydream Nation. And that's a respected work of art, and it looks like a photograph, but it's just like photorealistic painting
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was a photograph too.
of a candle.
Did Liz Phair's Exit in Guyville, did that have nipple in it?
It had a little areola.
You guys immediately, yes.
There was a little hint of areola in that picture. I
knew there was some other reason that guys were really crazy about her than just...
Well, she was just so, and still is, so sexually frank.
Yeah.
That it was like, kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
I love that album.
Well, there was, another...
Not because of...
When we're going back to nudity on albums, there's another, Beatle reference. I think the first, John and Yoko released Two Virgins.
Oh, yeah.
It was not a pretty picture.
Not a pretty picture at all.
But it was underneath.
That's not what you want from your nudity.
And it was behind a brown bag.
All right. Well,
before we leave it,
okay,
I want to just real quick go over artists that were known. Just they became associated with bands like Roger Dean with Yes.
Yep. Did
pretty much all their covers up until the Trevor Horn era. Trevor Horn was yeah. And then you had, of course, Robert Crumb did the Cheap Thrills album for Janis Joplin, and he hated their music. He hated all rock music, weirdly enough. Robert Crumb liked music from the 20s and 30s.
Is he the Keep On Trucking guy?
Yep,
Yeah.
he's that guy.
All right.
There's a great documentary. Or it's not a documentary. But
It
it's
is.
Like, is it a documentary?
Yeah, by Terry Zwigoff.
Yeah. He's a original.
Yeah, but he went on to do like album covers for all sorts of like old compilations of old music, and he would instead of getting paid, a lot of times somebody would give him a classic like '78 that was hard to find. And my favorite, more recent, and he just died, is the artist Wes Freed, who illustrated all the Drive-By Truckers albums up until, I guess, now, because now he's gone.
Right.
But I think it's cool when certain artists get associated just so much with an album, with a group, that, they're kind of synonymous.
Well, I had mentioned this beforehand, but the Little Feat albums.
Yeah, Neon Park.
I loved all the covers for those and had no idea. It's kind of like the Van Halen thing that I'm not going to like this music at all.
Too many guitar solos.
I know. And it's like you got a tomato lady in a hammock, and you got a piece of cake in a swing throwing a foot up, and the duck by the pool, and those are like really cool. But yeah.
Well, and also Hypnosis and Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
They did so many Pink
Oh,
Floyd
they
albums.
do
And
Dark
Led
Side of the
Zeppelin.
Moon?
They did Dark Side of the Moon,
Okay.
and they did Led
Very
Zeppelin. They
iconic.
did
Houses of the
CC.
Holy.
Yeah, but like one of the thing is that Poe, can't remember his last name. Anyway, Hypnosis was two guys, and one of them was a photographer, and he really loved. The other guy was kind of the idea guy, and the idea guy would come up with an idea, and then the photographer would make it real. And on the back of "Wish You Were Here," there's a person diving into the water into a lake. That you just see the bottom half of their torso, and in this documentary that I recommended last week about Hypnosis, that guy held his breath for like 3 minutes.
Oh no!
I mean, they were out in the middle of this
Wow.
volcanic lake, and
Wow.
they had built a little platform for him to stand on his elbows and stuff. But it's the top half of his body's underwater, and there are the water's like glass all around him, so he had to stay there a long time for the water to settle down.
Wow.
This is kind of amazing.
Well, one thing before we sign off on this, Wayne has designed album covers.
He has.
I'm in the middle of one
what-
right now.
What goes, and you've also designed our logo for How
Right.
We Heard It and for our mother company, Cozy Planet. What I've always wondered, what goes through your head when you're drawing these things? How would you describe it? Your art?
Well, if you look at my page, which is WayneBledsoe.com, you can
Right.
see the stuff that I do.
There's a tab for illustrations, right?
Right, and it shows the album covers. That I don't think I've updated it enough lately, but the one I'm working on right now is a new Handsome and the Humbles album, and there's a couple of songs about wrestling because Josh Smith, the lead singer-songwriter for that band, his father was a wrestler called Izzy Slapowitz. And so I got a picture of his dad in a wrestling match with another wrestler, and I thought, okay, I want to do something with this because it's the wrestling theme's there. So I got a stock picture. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out yet, of an old 60s television, and I cut out the middle, and I took the picture of his dad, and I've drawn over that, so I'm making a new drawing, and then I'll color it. And, I mean, there's no telling how it'll actually turn out. But, I just like, I get the idea from the songs. I always listen to the music first, and Josh sends me all his demos. I mean, I hear Josh's stuff long before anybody else does. But I got an idea for one of their albums called We're All the Same, and I thought, let's mess up their pictures. So I got the band to stand in a line, and I got my phone camera out, and I put it on panorama because I love the way panorama messes up things.
It sure does.
So I had to do two separate pictures because it kept saying, "Stop moving." So I jerked it around a little bit so they would come out with like 3 and 4 and 5 eyes, and like their faces would look like they were melting and stuff like that. And if I had my way on it, I would have just used the photograph that I put together because I thought that was the better cover. But they wanted my actual illustration on it, so I illustrated that.
You would just always, even if it wasn't for an album cover, just if we had a meeting, you would sit there and I'd see you start like, what's he writing? And all of a sudden I'd see like a big jaw come out with teeth or just something totally unexpected. It's like, oh my God, what's he thinking?
Well, that's the only way I can concentrate. And people wherever they are, because if the meeting starts getting boring, and we sat through some boring meetings.
Yeah. They're always too long. Could have been an email.
I'll start thinking about something else unless I start moving my hand and start drawing, and then I can pay attention.
Okay.
And that's where my best art comes from. It's just like, when I retire next year, I'll probably sign up for some college class and sit in one college class.
Just find the most boring class you can.
Find a boring class and sit there and draw.
All right.
But
I got one more album cover that I got to mention because it is the absolute craziest album cover I've ever seen, and it's the Leuven Brothers, Satan is Real.
Oh, yeah. That one's so bad.
So the Leuven Brothers.
Leuven Brothers.
There were two brothers back in the Louvin, yes,
Yeah.
bluegrass brothers, and they sang just incredible harmonies. Ira, the older one, was one of those guys that he was either preaching Jesus or he was drunk off his ass.
Yeah.
He just was. There was no middle ground. He was either just a heathen or he was a saint.
I believe his wife shot him a couple, or at least once.
Yeah, I think he was notorious for if his mandolin didn't meet his standards, mandolin didn't meet his standards, he'd just smash it on stage. Whereas Charlie, the younger brother, was this kind of chubby, affable. Everybody's really super friendly. Everybody just loved him. But their album cover, Satan is Real. They made a Satan out of a sheet of plywood.
So awful.
They cut it in half and stacked it on top of each other, so it's like 20 feet tall, and it's this Satan that they painted, and he's got these weird googly eyes that are looking all over the place.
It's awful.
And Charlie and they put it they went to a dump where they had a bunch of tires, and they set the tires on fire, and they put the devil in the middle of it, and they're standing there like holding up their hands saying, "Stop, devil," on the album. It's the craziest album cover. Just look up Satan is Real album cover.
Okay.
You will be
It's a
rewarded.
great album. But one more quick one.
All right. We got to get to recommendations.
I know,
here.
but I'm going to ask you both. Was there ever an album that you didn't buy because of the cover?
No, I'm sure.
Because Prince's second album, I thought I'd like I Want to Be Your Lover, that little song. I mean, that was that song. I thought it was great, and I went to Kmart to buy it. And I picked it up, and he's wearing a lot of makeup. He's shirtless, and it's like, okay, all right. You know, he's wearing about.
I mean, Kiss did that.
I know, but he looked really feminine.
Right.
And then I started to go out with it, and I flipped it over, and I looked at it, and he's naked on the back of Pegasus. And I just had this picture in my mind of going through the line and the cashier flipping the album over and looking at him and looking at me. It's like, okay, what's the thing with this guy? So I didn't buy that album because of that.
Right.
And Maggot Brain by Funkadelic, that album used to scare me so much that I couldn't imagine buying it. It's one of my favorite albums now. But, oh, man, it's scary.
Apparently, they recorded that album all in one day, and all of them were on acid.
That's what George Clinton told me. He said we're back in our minds again, which is like when they're coming out of it.
All right.
I can't think of any albums that I
No?
mean, I'm sure it's happened, but
Yeah, I'm sure it's happened, but I don't know. It's never because I was more afraid they would judge me for buying an ABBA album or something like that. And then I got to a real defiant, well, screw them. I don't care what they think, and I'll buy it just to mess with them. So
There you go.
But as far as art, I can't remember any that would make me not buy it.
I'm sure it's
I'm
happened.
sure. Yeah, if it was someone I didn't know, obviously, but I can't remember anyone that I was really interested in that I didn't buy.
Well, I later bought everything by Prince.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny to me when I think back.
Well, it was the 70s, right?
That would have been.
I think early Prince was. I don't know when it was.
It would have. Yeah, it probably was.
Before times.
It probably was late 70s. Probably like 79, 78, 79. Or that, or it may have been 80. It may have been as late as that, but it wasn't much more because I was still living at home.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do recommendation here for music. I want to recommend. It came out April of 2025. Welcome to My Blue Sky by Mama, Momma. It's this band from Calabasas, California that moved to Brooklyn. So that was an interesting thing right there, I thought. But it's two women fronted, of course, Etta Friedman and Allegra Weingarten. And what I like about them, their sound, it's got a very 90s vibe to it, and they sound kind of like a mix of Smashing Pumpkins and Belly, because they've got the Tanya Donnelly kind of voice, but they have these bracing guitars. There are two guys in the band as well. And they have one song that I would first recommend. It was one of their preliminary singles from this album. It's called I Want You Fever. And it's just sweeping, and you can hear the little Tanya Donnelly kind of aesthetic in it, but then it's just like guitars, just waves of them. It's not popped out as any kind of like guitar solo, but just, the whole thing is guitar built.
A wall of guitars.
A wall of guitars, yeah. And then also they have a song called Stay All Summer, which is like this pop rock single. It's about uncertainty about a relationship. And then they have one called New Friend, which is uncertainty about a relationship that was a fling and now it's kind of unresolved. And then they have one called Bottle Blonde, which is about this blonde gal who's uncertain about what she wants out of life. So there's a lot of uncertainty in all these guitars. But it's cool, and they harmonize well. The two women do. I think almost all the singing is both of them all the time.
This is Momma, M-A-M-M-A.
M-O-M-M-A.
And what year was this?
This year.
Oh, okay.
April 2025. Cool. Welcome to the Blue Sky.
Well, I want to recommend, because it came up and we didn't actually talk about it, but because we didn't get to like CD covers, but the Neils 1997 album "Gotta Get Over Greta," which when it first came out, it came out with a nobody was doing anything interesting with CDs. It had an album. It had the booklet that was like half size, designed to be put in the middle, and the rest of the design showed up on the actual CD,
Okay.
and then in the tray art. So it was really innovative for a cover, but the music is great. It's a couple of sisters, the Neal sisters.
Okay.
And they've got, it's good kind of indie rock. Great song called Best Black Dress about a girl who is having an affair with an older man, and she's sneaking off through the bushes and hoping his daughter, who's the same age as her, doesn't see him or doesn't see her. And the title cut, which is about a almost lesbian relationship when she's the singer is a girl, and it's really cool because it's the bond that friendship has when you're that age that like is more than just being friends, but not quite being anything else. Partly.
Ironically, there's a lot of that in this Mama group too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's what the Uncertainty's about for Bottle Blonde, for example.
But, you know, I mean, Narissa Neals is a great songwriter. I don't know what she's done in the past many years, but this album is just full of really good stuff, and the songs are things that make you think, and, you can give you a different perspective on things. There's a good version of Lovely Rita by the Beatles, which is kind of a surprise. Okay. And then a song about a very self-aware prostitute called Taxi Girl.
Okay.
But anyway, it's a great album.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good, John.
I stumbled into this just by listening to a radio station on Apple Music, and every time something comes up that I think, wow, what is that? And I listen to it. So it's a band called Good Looks.
Okay. And
Good Looks is from Texas. Real strong, thoughtful songwriting. It's pretty plain spoken in terms of, they're not trying to dazzle you with musical, craziness. It's real straightforward, but it's also really solid. They've got 2 albums out. Lived Here for a While, which came out in 24, and then Bummer Year, which came out in 2022. Okay. But I really like them. They kind of remind me of, who's the band I'm thinking of? Not maybe the Jayhawks, kind of in that sort of heartland, or maybe the Bottle Rockets. I don't know. I really like them, though. They're called Good Looks.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
All right. I'll do a movie here. This is the movie Drop. Came out in April of 2025.
I've been seeing the previews.
Still in still in theaters now. I think by the time this goes out, it'll probably be on streaming at that point. It's directed by Christopher London, who did all the Paranormal Activity movies and Happy Death Day, kind of comedy horror. And this one stars Megan Fahey from White Lotus 2. She's done a lot of TV work, but she was the redhead in White Lotus 2 who was married to the Theo James character, the real cad, who was like hitting up prostitutes and everything. Yeah. And her character in White Lotus 2 really intrigued me because she seemed to be the least developed character until the end comes around, and she was the most on the ball character and just her transition at the very end of the show just really, and she was kind of a friend to Aubrey Plaza. So anyway, this is, and there's the main guy in this is Brandon Sklenar, and he's kind of like a faux Hemsworth. He could be a Chris Hemsworth, or really, I think he's from the Czech Republic, not Australia or something. But
right.
Anyway, and they both play like these mid-30-year-old professionals, and she had been in an abusive relationship that's kind of vaguely defined, and she has a little boy, and her sister babysits the little boy, and she's going out with this guy that she met, and they've been talking for months, and they go to this really fancy, it's set in Chicago, and they go to this really fancy restaurant in one of the skyscrapers there. And the drop part is she starts getting drops on her phone from someone apparently in the restaurant who's telling her, this is all in the trailer, telling her that she has to murder her date, that there's some poison and she has to put it in his drink and murder him. And they're watching, they've got cameras all over the restaurant, they're watching her every move, and she becomes more and more derailed and like a terrible date, and the guy's trying to be nice and a gentleman and everything, and he's like, I don't think she's into me, or there's something going on. But it's kind of Hitchcockian or something because of the way there's more to it than I thought there was going to be.
Good.
And it is kind of tense because of, they're escalating. I'll tell you this too, this is in the trailer and everything. They've got someone in her home and where her boy and her sister, who's babysitting
Right.
her little boy, are. So they're saying, if you don't kill this guy, we're going to kill your son.
Yeah.
So and she's just like panicking, and she knows somebody in the restaurant is sending her stuff, and some people are like obvious suspects, and some seem more like friends, and some she just doesn't know, and she's just looking around and trying to see what someone's doing, and it was just really well built, and it's a nice kind of tense little, not really a horror, although there's jeopardy in the air, but it's. It was. I ended up feeling even more favorably than I thought it would, and I think she's just a dynamite actress. I can't wait to see what she does next.
Well, that was one of the examples. I've been watching the trailers for it. They show it a lot from something that I'm seeing, and it's one of those things you look at it and you say, "This could go either way. This could be really stupid." And
that's what I
terrible.
thought. And I thought, well, they're showing so much of it.
Yeah.
Surely they're not just giving everything away, and they're not. You know,
good.
And it's,
Okay.
and there are more characters. There's like. And you're looking at all these characters thinking, what might are they involved? Can they be an ally to her? Or are they the ones sending messages to her? So
that sounds good.
It's cool.
John?
I think I may be repeating myself, but Leslie and my wife and I have been really enjoying The Studio. Did I mention this before?
I don't think so.
It's Seth Rogen, and he plays a Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
head of a studio. And it's the episodes are, it's a TV show. It's 30-minute long episodes.
On Hulu or Paramount Plus? Or
I think it's on Apple TV.
Apple TV? Okay.
It's loaded with all kinds of cameos. We've watched 4 episodes, and let's see. There's Ron Howard's been in it, Martin Scorsese, Charlene Theron's, Charlize Theron.
Right. You got it.
Uh,
That's it.
But I mean, it's got all kinds of cameos in it, and it's really funny. It's really well written, and it gets down into the weeds about the shenanigans that go on in Hollywood to get a movie made, and it's kind of like following the formula of Curb Your Enthusiasm, in Curb Your Enthusiasm, each episode, Larry keeps making people mad, and by the end of the show, everyone in the cast is screaming at him.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that with Seth Rogen in this. It's like he's trying to do his best, but he keeps pissing people off, and by the end of it, everybody's like, get out of here! But it's really funny.
Okay.
Well, I want to recommend the new season of Black Mirror, even though I've only seen the first episode of the new season. But it does not disappoint. I can't watch
Black Mirror?
Black Mirror. It's a
Where is
Netflix
it?
series.
Who's showing it?
Netflix. And I think this is the 6th season, but there have been some seasons where there was only like 3 episodes.
Okay.
All the episodes are independent, although there is one in this season that's a sequel to an earlier episode.
Okay.
But this is a science fiction show where the science is just a little bit ahead of where we are, and you will be so uncomfortable with the questions that you're asking yourself about how you would deal with this that I can't watch.
And why do I want to do that to myself?
Well, because it's really good.
Okay.
And you will.
It's provocative.
It's provocative. The first episode of the new season has to do with medicine and how much money you might have to have a special treatment to keep someone alive and a subscription service. And it hits so many buttons to what we're confronted with right now that you're just, I mean, it nearly makes you a little bit sick watching it, but it's really good. And you'll come out of it with a lot of questions about yourself and society. And that's the way Black Mirror is all the way through. You always have these ethical questions that you're thinking about. For me, it takes a week before I want to watch another one.
Okay.
But it's great. I mean, it's like the Twilight Zone for this generation.
Okay. That's a good pitch.
Yeah.
All right. Are we done?
I think so. We
All right.
didn't know we were going to make it, but it's an hour and
We
24
didn't know
minutes.
we were going to. Yeah. Well, we've more than done enough. So we will leave you folks alone, and please come back next week.
Yep.
Thank you.
Shoot us an email
Yeah.
at howweheardit@gmail.com.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Thank you.
Bye. You've been listening to How We Heard It with Chuck Campbell and Wayne Bledsoe, a podcast about music, movies, art, culture, whatever it is that's on their mind. How We Heard It was recorded at the Arbor Studio in Knoxville, Tennessee by me, John Baker. How We Heard It is a Cozy Planet production. If listening to this podcast has given you a burning sensation, then we recommend you sit in a hot tub until your symptoms fade away. If you'd like to reach out to Chuck or Wayne or even me, you can send an email to howweheardit@gmail.com. So thank you for listening, and come on back and we'll have another episode for you next week.